Hello. Today I'm here at this reservoir reserve sanctuary, making this Trecena video for the Trecena of Cat. Very important Trecena coming up on a very important day, the day 13 Akhabal. And I'd like to begin by doing something a little bit different, which I don't think I've done before. But I just wanted to give a little bit of a shout out to a couple of people because last week I received this rather nice t shirt from a dear friend, Patrick. And I just wanted to kind of say on my video this time around, thank you so much, Patrick. I really love it. And I think it's a really nice design. Now, from what I understand, it came from mindmagics.com. And this is a site run by Mike Shaw, who's an absolutely lovely guy. And it was founded by Ian Shell Lundgold about 20 years ago. And Ian was a student of Don Alejandro's in Guatemala. So, good site, good information, good people. And I'll leave the links in the information at the end of the video or in the in the text afterwards, so that you can visit Patrick's site, discoverthewetico.com, or the mindmagics.com if you want to get yourself a t-shirt as well. Anyway, that's my kind of plugging for the day. I feel like some kind of influencer or something now. Bit different for me, but let's get on with the Trecena. So, the Trecena of Cat, why is it so important? Well, mainly because in the middle of it comes Washiki Bats. Washiki Bats, the day on which a new cycle begins, a new initiation cycle, a new cycle within the sacred calendar itself. Now, some people call it Maya New Year. I don't feel so comfortable with the word year because for me, whenever we use the word year, it is very strongly attached to a 365-day count. And of course, Washiki Bats is the beginning of a 260-day count. So, I feel like saying that it's the beginning of a new ceremonial cycle, a new cycle of the calendar, feels more coherent for me. But of course, it's a very important day, and I'll get to that as we go through the Trecena. So, we're going to begin, of course, with the day one cat. Now, one cat, what do we know about cat? We know that it is a day about bonding. We know that it is a day of the net. Now, I'm going to insert the glyph for cat up here. Hopefully, that'll be on your screen now. And what I'd like to point out is that, or what I see in this glyph, is it rather looks like a seed being planted into a hole in the ground. Now, we know that cat is the net in which we gather the harvest, and there are certain ways in that cat can also be seen as a representation of the womb. Now, whether we're planting a seed in the hole, we plant 1 grain of maize and we get sort of 1,200 grains back, or we plant a fertilized egg in the womb and we get a human being back. This is the beginning of the process where the new planting takes place in order to bring a new life into the world. So this is a pretty auspicious day and the beginning of this Trecena, which I think is a very, very important day, an important time. So, of course, a good day for planting things. This would be, kind of like a given. But it's also, we could see it as a good day for new connections. It could be a good day for renewing a connection. It could be a good day for tying the knot, as it were, as well, which I'm hoping as I'll be doing that on one cat. So, all in all, the Trecena and the day brings about a new potential for growth, a new potential to multiply, a great day to plant the seed of what it is that you want to multiply in your life, a great day to celebrate both your liberation, but also the bonds that you make within your family, within your community, amongst your friends. This is a great day to renew your connections. So from one cat, we're then going to move to two can. So as we make our choices about what we want to renew into our net and what we might want to let go from our net, maybe it's a fresh release as well, we're going to have to make some decisions, some choices. And the number two can often represent these kind of choices. It's like yes, no, keep, release. Okay? And when we see it connected with the word Nawal Khan, what we're seeing is the Nawal, which can represent wisdom, it can represent teachers, it can represent power. And so one of the things that I feel with the number two, well, the number two represents polarities. It's north or south. It's night or day. There is no in between with the number two. It is 1 or 0. And so that choice is a very stark contrast. You want to choose this one or you want to choose this way. And when we combine it with the Nawal, which can represent power, it could be asking us, okay, how do we wish to apply our power in the world? How do we wish to apply our wisdom in the world? Are we going to use it like this? Are we going to use it like that? And so it's a great day for making those choices, kind of like a bit of a final choice as well. It's like that way or that way. No in between. No kind of sitting on the fence anymore. It's got to be that one or that one. Which one do you want? Which way are you going to follow? And so I sometimes feel that Tz'ikin can bring us some stark realizations about what we maybe kind of like put our power into. Maybe about the wisdom that we're working with. And maybe kind of like helping us decide which path we want to take, what we want to keep in our net. From Tz'ikin, we then move into 3 Kame. Now, of course, in this Trecena of bundling, in this Trecena of gathering, in this Trecena, as we follow that path which gathers into our net, which multiplies, we're going to have to go through some transformation. And the 3 Kame is particularly a very important transformation day because it's going to represent transformation, and with the number 3, within. Transformation within the body, transformation within the heart, transformation within the home. Now, again, a very interesting day when we see it within the cat Trecena, when we see it in this Trecena, which is talking about, kind of like what we're gathering into the net. When we're talking particularly about, like if we imagine that net being the womb, and if we imagine that this is about the multiplication of the cells, then 3 Kame could be seen very much as being the inner transformation which takes place through the new connections that you make or what you plant anew, because we can imagine the transformations taking place within the womb as the baby grows. But we could also imagine the transformations which take place within ourselves through the new connections that we make. Now, those transformations, as they take place, we know that we've got to go through them. But sometimes they're also, it's kind of scary, facing these things, going through these things. And Kame often asks us to, kind of like listen for the voice of the ancestors to guide us through that transformative process. And in this case, what we would see, it would be saying, listen within yourself for the guidance from the ancestors. They are holding your hand. They're there to help you to gather what you might need to go through your transformation process and embrace it without fear. From 3 Kame, we then move into 4 Kech. Now, this is one of those particular combinations which is very, very interesting in that we have Kech representing the wilderness, representing the animal kingdom, the 4-legged ones, the 4-footed ones, and we have it connected with the number 4 as well. So this is very, very down to earth. Now, it is a great day with Kech representing the wilderness, with Kech representing the mountain place, the tree place. 4 Kech is a great day to physically get out into the wild, to really go and connect in a physical way with the plants which are around you, with the trees which are around you, with nature. Now, what else are we gathering? What are we gathering in this net, Trecena, in this cat, Trecena? Well, surely the wisdom of the plant kingdom, the wisdom of the wilderness, the strength and the guidance of the wilderness should be something which is very high on our list. This is where we might gain our nurture. This is where we strengthen ourselves. And Kech days are always great days to be doing that. And with the four, the physical plane, the material plane, this is very much for me emphasizing to get out into the physical nature, to go and strengthen yourself through it, to go and strengthen yourself so that you can develop within that net. From 4 Kech, we're then going to move into 5 Anil. Now, if we were saying that we planted the seed into the ground on 1 cat, and that this whole Trecena is about our new development, our new life that we're bringing in. Now, obviously, we are here to multiply that. Obviously, we are here to grow that. And, as we go along the way, we've got to tend it. 5 Anil, for me, is exactly that. Anil, the yellowing, the ripening, how we bring things to their maturity. And we see it here with the number 5, representing putting our effort into it, putting our energy into it. Now, if we have gardens or, anything that we're raising, we know and we understand that we can't just kind of like drop the seed in the hole and walk away. We need to maybe give it some water, maybe give it some fertilizer, maybe work around it to, pull the weeds out or whatever it might be from time to time. We've got to put our effort into it if we want to become a full and abundant crop. Now, we can see the same with the growing of children, the growing of community. We need to nourish them. We need to care for them. We need to put our energy into their development, into the, what we want for their ripening to become, how they can, become their best selves, as it were. We can't just sort of sit back and, okay, well, we brought it in, so now let's let go of it and see what happens. We have to put some effort into it. And so 5 Anil is a great day to be putting your effort into what you wish to ripen in your life. Now, perhaps in this rather polarized society, as it seems to me that we live in at the moment, there is one phrase which I've found to be really important, and that is to, water the seeds that you wish to grow. So, it's like a time to pay attention and put your work into that which you wish to ripen, where you want to, what you want to see come to abundance. So it's a great time to really be focusing on that which you wish to see, in brilliance later on, that which you really wish to harvest into your net. From 5 Anil, we then go into 6 Toch. So Toch, the Nawal of service, Toch, the Nawal of payment, Toch, the one who gives us the opportunity to give something back. Now, we can give something back through our service. We can give something back through our energy in whichever form that might take, whether it's a donation, whether we're actually going to go out and do something with our hands, help out in a local project or whatever it might be. And the whole point is that we receive so much. It's important that we also give back. It keeps us in balance. It keeps us in harmony. It keeps us healthy. Now today we see it with the number 6. And so the number 6, which can firstly, we're going to talk about family, representing the family. It's an opportunity to give something back to our family. It's an opportunity to put our effort, our work, our love into supporting and sustaining our families. Now, we've all received in one way or another from our families at some point in our life. And sometimes we maybe didn't, let's say, show our gratitude as much as we could. So it's a great day to, kind of remember to go around, say hi, take a bunch of flowers to your mum or whatever it might be, in order to give something back, to show our gratitude for what we've received. It can also be a great day to be going out into our community to do something in order to bring stability. Now, as always, you'll find there some links where you can give of your energy to some of the projects in Guatemala, uh, whether it's ODIM for medical and family issues, which again we can see, this their program Healthy Mommy and Me, which helps young women to really understand how to nurture their children, might be an ideal way of giving on the day Six Toch. We could also see that the Popol Chai, the repository of indigenous wisdom which is being built in Petén, might also be a great day to put that stability, to put some energy, some effort, some financial energy into there. It would be great if you could make a donation. Again, the links will be on the page. But equally, there's your own family, there's your own area to take care of as well. And so Six Toch really suggesting, kind of like keep yourself mentally, physically, emotionally and spiritually healthy by going and lending a hand within your family, within your local community. From Six Toch, we're then moving into 7C. So the number 7, we're reaching the top of the pyramid, the top of the mountain, from where we can see all. This, again, is a day of choices, but it can also be seen as a day of endings. Our journey has come to an end. We have come to the top of the mountain. We've come to the top of the pyramid. Our faithful, loving, loyal guide, our dog, Tzi, has been accompanying us on our journey over the last 260 days. And now we come to the end of it. The old dog is exhausted. From the top of the mountain, we can see where it is that we're going to go next. From the top of the pyramid, we can see the peaks of the other pyramids around us. And it's up to us to make a choice. Now, Tzi, the Nawal of faith, of loyalty, of justice. Tzi, the Nawal of the vices as well. And when we look at that, we can understand, right, okay, this is taking something to an end. The following day will be Washiki Bats. I'll talk about that more in a minute, but it can be seen as a day of initiation. So what we get is this day of choices before the day of initiation. We also see that the day Washiki Bats is the beginning of a new cycle of initiation that will take us through 260 days to be initiated on Washiki Bats when it comes around again. Okay? The reason I say that is because 7C gives us the opportunity to choose between that which we have faith in and our vices. For example, okay, it's kind of like it might not be that there's time to purify, let's say, before the initiation on the following day, but it starts a 260-day cycle of initiation where we look at it and we say, you know what, I'm done with that. I've had, kind of like that vice which has been following me throughout my life. I need to walk a new path, and I'm going to use my faith to take me on this 260-day trail up to initiation. Now, we can also see that the 7C could represent, kind of like the old guide. And I feel like, kind of like often I feel like it's like the old guide who has taken us to the top of the mountain, kind of like ready for our initiation, as it were. So we can also see within there is like the Tzi representing the law. So kind of like 7C can be a great day to close up legal matters, to finish them off. It can also be about seeing where you wish to put your unconditional love. What do you really want to put it into? From 7C, we then move into Washikib Bats. Now, as I said, the most sacred day of the calendar. Wherever they are, you will find Ajmaq making ceremony on this day. Even if they don't make ceremony too often, even if they make ceremony only once in the 260-day cycle, it is most likely to be on the day Washikib Bats. Washikib Bats, the day of initiation, the day of the marriage of a new Ajmaq to their sacred bundle, the day where we celebrate the sacred calendar itself. And throughout Guatemala, particularly in Momostenango, you will find hundreds of fires being lit, hundreds of ceremonial fires being tended by the Ajmaq. It's a very, very important day to celebrate that connection that we have with the sacred calendar, to make a fire, to make offerings to that fire, to give thanks for the guidance of the Nahuales through the sacred calendar. And so, if you're in or around Guatemala or somewhere where you know there's ceremony going on, then Washikib Bats is a great day to go to ceremony, to make your offerings. What else can we see with Washikib Bats? Well, we see the 8, which we can see consisting of the 1 of the beginning and the 7 of the endings. The 1, the new, the 7, the old. So we could suggest like 1 bats and 7 bats coming together as 8 bats, representing the whole of creation. So it's a great day to look at your creativity. What are you creating into the world? It is also seen with the 8 representing the 8 strands of the umbilical cord, and bats representing gestation. This is the midpoint of that one cat, Trecena, right? And so this is a gestation. We planted that seed in one cat, and we're going through the gestation of Washikib Bats. So super interesting time, and a great day to be, kind of like, again, if you're not interested in ceremony, or ceremony is not a thing that's going to be present in your area, then it could be a great day to be working with your art and working with it in a way of totality, bringing things to their endpoint. Kind of like I said, it is the amalgamation of the new art and the old art. And I like to see, kind of like, this is where the baton is being passed from the old generation to the new generation, but maybe that's also within your creativity and within your art. From 8 bats, we then go into 9 Belacheb. Again, a very, very important day. Representing the journey, representing the road, the traveler. Here, together with the number 9, which can represent the feminine, but it can also represent life. It represents the 9 lunations that we're going to spend in the womb. And so what we see, really, 9 the easiest way to talk about it, or the two words that come straight to mind, life path. This is what happens. We go through the initiation on Washikib Bats. The next day, we're stepping out onto our life path. And so it's a great day to be divining your life path. Or, if you've already divined it, getting out there onto your life path. Sometimes we're in a place where we're wondering, kind of like, okay, I know what my life path is, but, well, yeah, I'll do it next year or next month or next week or whatever it is. 9 is saying, right, okay, time to get on with it. What are we waiting for? It's time to step out onto our life path. The number 9 can represent independence as well. And so when we see it like that, it's like, right, okay, we also know, kind of like, as we're going through this time of multiplication, as we're going through this time of attach, detach, that there are some things that fit in with our life path and there are some things which don't. There are some things which can accompany us on our life path and there are some things which can't. But sooner or later, we've got to let go Sooner or later, we got to be released so that we can go out and truly walk our life path. 9 is the day to get that done, to get out there and do it if you can. We can also see that the number 9 is highly significant with regards to the role of women. And so it would be a great day to, kind of like if you're still not quite ready to make the break and kind of like move out onto your true life path, as it might be, it's a great day to be working with the women in your life to help to understand how to walk out onto that life path, what you might need in your net. You remember, it's a Trecena of cat. We're working out what we need in our net and what we can let go of. Maybe the women in your life can help you to understand what you need to keep and what you need to release from your net in order to enhance your life path. From 9 we then move into 10 Now, one of the things that I see with the calendar, one of the things that I see with the sacred fire, and one of the things that I see with the role of an Ajmaq is to create harmony within society. That's what I feel that those three things coming together do. And here we have the day Ach, representing home, representing our harmony in our home, harmony in our community. It can be seen as a masculine essence. It can certainly be seen as, kind of like the benevolent father figure of the home. Ach, literally meaning he of. And we see it with the number 10. The number 10 representing agreements, representing society, representing community. And so we see this again, rather like I was saying with the 4 Kech. It's rather like 10 Ach is kind of doubling up. Now, there may be some judgment involved because, the staff that is represented by Ach, the staff of office, from, which denotes the power, is also the staff that says sometimes, hey, kind of like you move your fence back and you stop throwing rocks at him. It's kind of like, it's about bringing that form of balance, that harmony to the community by making sure that the right things are done. We can see that Ach has a vested interest in harmony within the home, harmony within the community. That's what they're here to do. And they do it using the properties of their spinal column that helps them to stand up straight and tall, helps them to stand up for what is right, and sometimes helps them to stand up and say, kind of, let's say, the unpopular things that need saying. Why? Because they've got to bring this. They have to bring agreement. They have to come to that agreement. They have to help to bring harmony in the community through agreements, through understanding, through the shaking of hands. So obviously 10 Ach is a wonderful day for any form of diplomacy. It's a wonderful day to be, kind of like peacemaking, for mediation. And it's a wonderful day to be standing up in your community and saying, right, okay, this fractionating can no longer happen. We need to kind of like join hands to come together to bring peace and harmony to my community. This, for me, is the essence of the day 10 Ach. From 10 Ach, we then move to 11 Ish. Ish, the Nawal of the feminine, the Nawal of the mother. Ish, the Nawal connected with the jaguar, connected with the sacred sites, connected with the heart of the earth. Now, this is a great day to be working with the heart of the earth in whichever way you feel is right. From the heart of the earth, all things, all material things come. It sustains us. She sustains us. Our shrines, our altars, where we make our offerings to her, that bring forwards everything that we need to be nourished, everything that we need for our journey, everything that we need to multiply and develop. And here we see it with the number 11, going in many different directions. Highly creative by not following a usual traditional path. 11-ish suggests that we once more get out there, wake up, feel where your intuition draws you. Have in mind an idea to go visit a sacred site. Have in mind an idea to go visit a place where you can commune with the heart of the earth. Have in mind a way of giving to the heart of the earth for what you have received and will receive, for everything that has nurtured you, enable for you to grow big, grow strong, and multiply, as it were. So it's a great day to be working with the spirit of the heart of the earth, a great day to recognize the sacred nature within us and the sacred nature around us. From 11-ish, we're then going to 12 Tz'ikin. Now, Tz'ikin, the Nawal of the bird, the Nawal of vision, the Nawal of prosperity. And here we see it with the number 12. The number 12 could be seen as bringing all things together, bringing all of our life experience into one place, like writing the manual, like writing the autobiography. Now, I feel that as we go through life, we get a vision here, and then we get a vision there, and then we get a vision there, and we're picking up different bits as we go through life. And 12 Tz'ikin feels like a day on which we can bring together our consolidated vision, using all of those parts that we've got as we've gone through our life experience to bring it together in one bundle, to bring us a whole life vision. Now, this is a rather good way of using it, and so, of course, this might be a good day for a kind of vision quest type thing, or a vision board, or however it might be, to understand how all of those little visions that we've received through our lives can fit together in order for us to prosper. Now, this helps us, helps our family, helps our children, helps our community to thrive by engaging with the vision, the lifelong vision that we've had. This is where we can see what we're, kind of like the prosperity that we need. And, we started off with that one cat. We started off with, kind of like planting this new seed that we want to multiply. And the 12 Tz'ikin being kind of like towards the end of the Trecena, bringing us to life vision of what that seed might develop into, but also kind of like what we might need, which direction we might need to kind of like direct its growth into using the visions that we've received. So 12 Tz'ikin is a great day for understanding how to bring them together, how to bring all of these understandings, these life visions together. And then finally, we move into 13 Ajmaq. Ajmaq, the Nawal of forgiveness and pardon. Ajmaq, the Nawal of the human. And here we see it with the number 13 representing the ancestors and representing the spirit. Now, again, there's a couple of things within this. Firstly, kind of like there's often a lot of things which are said, written, about breaking ancestral patterns, breaking the chain. There are things which we might say run in our family. Now, family tradition is not necessarily a bad thing, but there are some traditions which are, well, let's say, no longer fit for purpose or no longer fit for this century. Some ways of thinking, some attitudes. And, kind of like in a way, the DNA that we carry is still carrying some of that idea. Maybe it's still carrying some of that energy, something that happened because of one of our ancestors, or something one of our ancestors did. Now, in their time, it might have been perfectly okay in their worldview to do such things. In our worldview, maybe it's become not okay. 13 Ajmaq is a great day to ask for forgiveness on behalf of your ancestors if there is something within your heritage that needs to be looked at. Another way that we could look at 13 Ajmaq is, of course, that we might not exactly be the ideal, let's say, dream of our relatives either, of our ancestors. And we're doing what we might need to do, but it might also be a day to we say, look, I love you, I appreciate you, thank you for your support, please forgive me for, kind of like where I make mistakes. 13 Ajmaq is a very, very powerful day of forgiveness. It's a day of forgiveness which is empowered by the spirit of the ancestors. It's a day of forgiveness which is empowered by spirit itself. And so if there is something which has been hanging over you for a while, where you either need to ask to be forgiven, or where you need to forgive and you're finding it really, kind of like one of the biggest challenges in life, let's say, to let that go. 13 Ajmaq is a great day to ask spirit, to ask the ancestors for their strength, for their understanding, to help you to go through that process of forgiveness. Because what we planted in the ground, what we planted in the net at the beginning of the Trecena needs to move into a clean slate, as it were. And if we're carrying around this burden or these burdens of blame or shame or guilt, then I don't feel that what we planted can develop correctly. And so we need to go through this process where we go through forgiveness. We ask for help from the ancestors in order to do that. And we can also see that 13 Ajmaq is a very powerful day to recognize our spiritual connection as humans, with the number 13 representing spirit and our connection to it, and Ajmaq representing the human. We can really see that this is the manifestation of the spirit in human form. And surely, as the final day of the cat Trecena, this is something that we would be kind of like aiming for throughout this multiplication, is that we come to that ripening of embracing spirit as human beings. So I hope that that has been an interesting Trecena for you. A bit longer than the usual one, but I think you can understand why with the importance of the cat Trecena. So I hope to see you again in 13 days' time as I talk about the Trecena of Noch. Thank you.